One small act of kindness, a smile, open door, or a kind word as simple as hello can be all it takes to brighten a person's hopes for the day. Heavy, low feelings of doom sometimes encompass even the most gifted of us. The tool best used to repair the broken pieces of our puzzled lives is love. It was the summer before another year in high school, and I was battling my way through some of the hardest obstacles I have faced in my life. My great-grandfather passed away. The grandparents I had left were suffering their own hardships. Talk of my grandmother's suicide and of my grandfather's betrayal seemed to sneak into almost every conversation. My mother and I had always been close, but it started to seem like all we did was fight. In time, I found myself questioning even the people most dear to me. I stopped trusting the people I love. That's when I lost my best friend. We got into a fight, and from that moment on, I knew that we would never be the same again. I did my best to move on. When fall ushered in the new school year, I met someone new to discuss problems with. That's when I lost him too. I found myself beginning to realize how big my world really is. In my misery, I misplaced all of my resentment. I believed the motives of the people who cared most about me to be untrue. I was particularly cruel to one friend. Whenever she played even the slightest role in something upsetting to me, I allowed myself to place all of the blame on her. This friend never gave up on me. I refused to recognize her efforts. I let myself fall into a hole of greater sadness. I reached a point where all I wanted to do was lay in bed and cry. This is when my mother decided that I had sulked for long enough and pried me out of bed for dinner and a movie. But rather than forgetting about my problems, I broke down, crying in the restaurant. It was around this time when another friend of mine decided to try his hand at helping me. This friend told me that he would always be there, and that even without him, I would have the strength to face my days. One day, I would realize how much life is really worth. This conversation pulled me from the dark depths of sadness. I am convinced that life really is worth fighting for. I needed the people who love me, and I needed to know who my real friends are. It took the journey for me to realize the many outstretched hands I had neglected to grab a hold of. In life, you may not have your health, you may not have things, but what no one can take away from you is love. Love is worth fighting for. Love never leaves. Love is forever yours.